The 1960s were a golden era for Britain's motor industry. New factories were busy, British engineering was respected around the world, and brands like Jaguar, Rover, Triumph, MG, Austin, and Morris filled roads across the country. Families dreamed of owning a British-built car, while luxury saloons and stylish sports cars became symbols of success. But behind the polished chrome, elegant styling, and proud badges, not every car lived up to expectations. Some looked fantastic in the showroom, but spent far too much time back at the garage. Owners often found themselves dealing with oil leaks, electrical faults, overheating engines, and constant repairs. Today, we're counting down 10 British cars from the 1960s that spent more time in garages than on roads. Some became famous despite their problems, while others earned a reputation that mechanics never forgot. Let's begin.
Number 10. Austin 1800. Introduced in 1964 by the British Motor Corporation, the Austin 1800 looked unlike anything else on British roads. Its long body, spacious interior, and front-wheel drive layout made it feel modern for its time. Powered by a 1.8-liter four-cylinder engine, the car offered a comfortable ride and impressive handling. Many families appreciated its roomy cabin and smooth suspension, making it an attractive choice for long journeys. However, mechanics quickly became familiar with its complicated suspension system. Repairs often required extra time, and replacement parts weren't always easy to fit. Electrical faults also became common as the cars aged. Despite winning praise from motoring journalists, many owners discovered that keeping the Austin 1800 running smoothly demanded patience and frequent visits to the garage.
Number 9. Triumph Herald. The Triumph Herald, introduced in 1959 and popular throughout the 1960s, became one of Britain's most recognizable small cars. Built by the Standard Triumph Company, it featured attractive styling by Italian designer Giovanni Michelotti. Its compact size, light steering, and surprisingly tight turning circle made it ideal for Britain's narrow streets. Owners loved how easy it was to drive, and its simple design appealed to first-time buyers. Unfortunately, reliability wasn't always its strongest point. Suspension components wore quickly, electrical gremlins appeared without warning, and cooling problems were common on older examples. Many garages saw a steady stream of Heralds needing attention, making it a familiar sight on workshop lifts across Britain. Number 8. MG Midget Mark II. The MG Midget Mark II, introduced during the mid-1960s by MG, offered affordable open-top motoring. With its lively 1098cc engine and lightweight body, it provided plenty of fun on winding country roads. Young drivers especially loved its sporty character and classic British styling. But beneath that charming appearance lay several frustrating problems. The car's electrical system often developed faults, fuel leaks occasionally appeared, and older engines demanded regular tuning to keep performing properly. Mechanics appreciated how simple the car was to work on, but they also knew they'd probably see the same vehicle again before long. For many owners, the excitement of driving came with a toolbox close by.
Number 7. Rover P6. When Rover launched the P6 in 1963, it represented the future of British executive motoring. Its advanced engineering, modern suspension, and stylish design helped it win the prestigious European Car of the Year award. The cabin felt luxurious, while its strong four-cylinder engine delivered smooth performance. However, innovation came at a price. Its complicated engineering made repairs more difficult than many rival cars. Suspension adjustments required skilled mechanics, while electrical problems sometimes frustrated owners. Although the P6 became one of Rover's greatest achievements, many garages found themselves learning entirely new repair techniques just to keep it running properly.
Number 6. Sunbeam Alpine Series 5, introduced in 1965 by the Roots Group, combined elegant styling with enjoyable open-top driving. Its refined appearance attracted buyers looking for an affordable British sports car. Powered by a 1.7-liter engine, it offered relaxed cruising rather than outright speed. Unfortunately, rust became one of its biggest enemies. Water collected inside hidden body panels, allowing corrosion to spread unnoticed. Cooling systems also demanded careful maintenance, while electrical issues became increasingly common with age. Owners loved the driving experience, but many spent almost as much time repairing rust as they did enjoying summer drives. Number 5. Morris 1100. Introduced in 1962 by the British Motor Corporation, quickly became one of Britain's best-selling family cars. Its clever front-wheel drive layout created excellent interior space despite its compact size. Families appreciated its comfortable ride, economical engine, and practical design. Yet mechanics often found themselves repairing its complicated hydrolastic suspension. Leaks within the system caused uneven ride heights, while worn seals and pipes required specialist attention. Although millions were sold, keeping them comfortable sometimes meant regular appointments at the local garage. Number 4. Jensen CV8. Built by Jensen Motors, the CV8 appeared during the early 1960s as one of Britain's fastest luxury grand tourers. Its powerful American V8 engine delivered effortless performance, while its luxurious cabin offered comfort for long-distance travel. The car looked exclusive and sounded magnificent. But maintaining such performance wasn't easy. Its powerful engine generated plenty of heat, leading to cooling issues if maintenance was neglected. Replacement parts were expensive, and many smaller garages lacked experience working on such a rare machine. Owning a Jensen often meant finding a specialist who truly understood the car. Number 3. Jaguar Mark X. Launched in 1961, represented British luxury at its finest. Its elegant styling, spacious interior, and famous straight-six engine impressed buyers across the world. Many executives chose it as their dream saloon. However, beneath the beautiful bodywork hid a very complicated machine. Its independent rear suspension required careful maintenance, while the electrical system occasionally developed faults. Routine servicing became more expensive than many owners expected, and inexperienced mechanics sometimes struggled with its sophisticated engineering. The Mark X remained a magnificent car, but certainly not a simple one to maintain. Number 2. Triumph 2000. Introduced in 1963, the Triumph 2000 brought executive comfort to Britain's growing middle class. Built by Triumph, it combined elegant styling with a smooth six-cylinder engine. Owners praised its quiet ride, comfortable seats, and refined handling. But keeping everything working perfectly often proved difficult. Electrical faults appeared regularly, carburetors required frequent adjustments, and cooling systems demanded constant attention. Mechanics became familiar with these recurring issues, making the Triumph 2000 a frequent visitor to workshops throughout the decade. Number 1. Austin Maxi. Prototype development. Although the production Austin Maxi officially arrived in 1969, its development throughout the late 1960s became famous for numerous engineering headaches. Created by the British Motor Corporation, it promised modern styling, front-wheel drive, and exceptional practicality. The idea looked brilliant on paper. Reality proved much more challenging. Early development cars suffered gearbox problems, engine reliability concerns, and complicated engineering issues that delayed refinement. Even after production began, mechanics often dealt with transmission adjustments and reliability complaints. Many believe the concept was excellent, but its execution left plenty of room for improvement. For many workshops, the Austin Maxi became a regular customer almost from the very beginning. Looking back, these cars remind us that the 1960s were a fascinating time for Britain's motor industry. Many have become cherished classics, lovingly restored by enthusiasts who appreciate their character as much as their imperfections. Sometimes the most memorable cars aren't the ones that never broke down. They're the ones that owners loved enough to repair again and again. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next countdown, exploring another chapter of Britain's remarkable motoring history.